Okay, I wanted to make a quick video about how I overcame gambling addiction. Finally got a good background where I don't have to do all the fancy stuff to make a fancy background. So I thought I'd make a video here, just make it simple. So anyway, I started gambling when I was 21, my 21st birthday. Flew to Vegas, won a bunch of money. I remember I was at the Mirage playing blackjack, just sticking stacks into my pockets, and I had stacks all over the place. I'd go back to my hotel room and throw cash in the drawer. Anyway, after I got done with Vegas, I had enough. I bought a bullet bike, a Yamaha FC 700. So unfortunately I won. Most people, when they gamble at first, they either win or lose. If you have a losing experience, then you don't like it. If you have a good experience, then you fall in love with it. It's like, I can get money anytime I want. I just need to gamble. So anyway, I played between ages 21 to 25. I remember there were some signs I was addicted. I didn't really understand at the time. Like I was in jackpot one time and I just went in, lost money. And then I went back to my room and started crying. I didn't even understand why. I never cried about anything, but I didn't want to gamble and I didn't want to lose money. And then, so that was a sign. And then another sign that I was addicted, I was in Vegas with my friends. I had driven down there and I said, okay, you guys save some money for gas for the way back. So I drove us down there. We were just all down there doing our own thing. We met up and then we were all talking about what we all want to do. And I had lost all my money. And I was like, I just want to get a Big Mac. Big Macs at that time cost $2. I didn't even have $2 to my name. I'd literally gambled everything, all access to all my money. So that was a sign to me. They're all talking, should we go to this show? Should we go over here and do this and that? And I'm like, I just want a Big Mac. And they just kept saying, okay, we understand you want a Big Mac. I was hungry. I couldn't even eat. So that was another sign I was addicted. So I just kept gambling until I was about 25. And I had some other debts, credit card debts, medical debts. I need surgery and stuff. So I was like, I want to get out of debt. I was tired of debt. And so I had maybe 18,000 of debt. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to a casino and just gamble, either get out of debt or I'm going to go bankrupt and get out of debt one way or the other. So anyway, I went to San Diego Casino. I was living in New Mexico at the time. San Diego Casino right off 25 there. And I lost and I got upset. The dealer's like, it's just a game. I was like, you don't understand. It just made me go bankrupt. That's what I was thinking to myself. So I quit from age 25 to about 40. That I didn't gamble at all. Then at age 40, I started gambling again. I had some student loan debt and I wanted to get out of debt. So that was my motivation. It's like, if I just have one lucky night, I can pay off the student loan debt. Again, about $18,000. It just kept going up. The debt was going up because I was making minimum payments or forbearances, income sensitive payments, all sorts of stuff. But the thing is, even in between when I was gambling, even when I would win, I would still lose. Because like one time I was going to Jackpot, Nevada, my friend was driving, so we went down there, gambled. I'd won quite a bit, and I was like, okay, let's head back. Let's get out of here. I guess he had won, so I drove as long as I could. It was the middle of the night, and I was like, oh man, I'm tired. The roads were icy. It was dark. We're going back to Idaho, in Pocatello. I lived there. And I was like, okay, you got to drive. You okay driving? He said, yeah. So he started driving. Then I woke up a while later, and the freeway was going right by my face. My car was on its side, sliding. He'd rolled the car, fell asleep, and the freeway was right there rolling by me. So anyway, he rolled the car, wrecked the car. So a trucker came and let us stay in his truck so we didn't freeze while they were waiting to tow it back to Idaho, or back to Pocatello. We were in Idaho when it happened. But so even when I'd win, that was one example of even when I'd win, I would lose. Another one was I was in New Mexico gambling at Isleta Casino down south of Albuquerque. And I'd won. I was all, on my motorcycle. I was a different motorcycle. I was on my CB 700. I was just cruising back, I-25 northbound, all happy. Nice wind blowing through my hair. Nice day. And then all of a sudden, I looked up ahead and traffic had stopped. And it was not in my experience that traffic could stop on a freeway. I was from Idaho. Traffic never stopped on a freeway. But there was traffic at a stop, and I didn't even know what was going on. I'm going full speed. There's a truck in front of me. It's got a metal bar sticking out of it, and I'm coming at it going, I don't know, 55, 60. So I'd lay down my bike, and just so I don't get impaled, I'm rolling down the freeway. I rolled so many times. I'm like, well, shoot, I've rolled so many times. It must be time for me to get up. So I stood up, kind of jammed my knee, kept going because I still had so much momentum. Anyway, so the moral of that is that even when I would win at the gambling, the Lord would somehow make me lose. I would lose something some way. So eventually I just had quit it. Well, that was before 25. At age 25, then I did the whole big out of debt or bankruptcy. I'm getting out of debt one way or the other. Either pay off the debt by a win or just. So anyway, that's kind of my background in. And I started gambling again because I had the student loan debts. So I was just gambling here and there, hoping for a lucky night, not risking too much, very conservative. But I was with my wife and my kid at Lake Tahoe. We were on our vacation there, and we were in the hotel, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the casino, and there's a Hard Rock casino, Hard Rock Tahoe, I guess, casino. Anyway, I went over there. I was playing blackjack, going back and forth for a while, not really making much progress, just flat betting basically. And when I'd get some of their money, I'd stack it a little bit. But they got tired of me sitting there. I guess they sent in this lady dealer who dealt really fast, super fast, and so I lost like 17 out of 20 hands, and just eventually lost it all. I was like, okay, too good for me. So, but as I got outside, or I don't remember exactly where it was at. I think I just got outside. I heard this voice say, like a spiritual voice, not a real voice, but it's like, is the Lord really going to prosper you through gambling? And that's the question that actually I've not gambled since then, because I answered the question honestly, and I was like, no, the Lord is not really going to let me get out of debt this way. The Lord's not really going to make me rich through gambling. And that's the secret. That's what helped me. I know there's lots of different ways that people break free from addictions and things, and I've had different addictions, and I've broken free from some of them. And it wasn't by having a powerful question or anything, but that insight of like the way the Lord was going to treat me and the success or lack of success I was going to have, despite the odds are stacked against you anyway. So even if you do, I mean, blackjack's kind of evenish, poker kind of evenish, where you can have advantage. Those are different stories, but still, if you have the Lord against you, it doesn't matter if I would win in those situations anyway. And I am bringing this particular topic up. My channel is about religion and things, but because God was involved in this, and it's an addiction, and I think it could help some people, possibly, if they could understand that's not the way the Lord wants us to get out of debt. Oh, and as kind of a follow-up after that, after I quit gambling for a year or so, we did the debt. Me and my wife did the debt snowball, the Dave Ramsey thing, paid off a bunch of our little debts. I still had the student loan debt, around $20,000. But then out of the blue, I mean, I'm paying my tithing also. Tithing is another thing, one of the commandments of the Lord. So I'm paying my tithing, not gambling, for several years. And then out of the blue, my mom just sent me $10,000, and I had, $20,000 debt. And then my friend had gave me the idea to refinance my house, which I'd never thought of doing when the interest rates were very low. And so by doing both of those things, I was able to pay off my student loan debt, which I didn't expect. I was expecting to carry that for a long time. But so there is kind of a happy moral to the story there, and I haven't gambled since. That's been, how many years ago? 8 years ago. So yeah, I didn't want to make this video until I had some years behind me to make sure it was a legit way that I was able to actually quit it. I don't want this to be too long. I'm already approaching about 9 minutes here. So that's it. Is the Lord really going to prosper you through gambling? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe that could be a motivating question for you. I have some other addictions I've gone through. I'll probably talk about them in some other videos. So, but just wanted to get this out there and start making videos again also with my new background here, so I don't have to make all the elaborate backgrounds. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.